I thought I'd make some comments about the issues with the headrest because people have mentioned it. My experience with the chairman chair is that patients find it's the most comfortable dental chair they've ever been in. I've never actually had a complaint about it, but we do remove the headrest, and that's probably part of the secret. So when you look at the headrest, their headrest is fine if the patient's head is actually at the end of the um, headrest, but very few patients actually can have their head right to the end of the headrest. And what that means is that when you take the headrest out, uh, there is no place for their head. So you use these cushions. Sometimes we use a single, a double, sometimes even a triple Tempur-Pedic pad, and that solves the problem completely. I've never had a patient complain. Um, Here's a patient where this is the most comfortable position for them to be in the chair. This wouldn't be a problem if everyone was comfortable with their head at the end of the headrest, but actually very few patients are comfortable. So it's a patient comfort issue. This is the position where the patient is most comfortable, and now there's quite a bit of space between the end of their head and where I want the patient. I want the patient right in my lap. Otherwise, I have to bend forward. So I have to have the end of that patient's head really kind of sitting into my tummy. So if you look at, I'll show a few cases here where this is the standard position. And if you actually look at it, the patient's head is actually extended out beyond the chair. And this is good because that way they can pronate their neck back, because you really want their chin elevated most of the time when you're working, because you're working vertically. So that's the end of the chair there, and their head is actually extended out beyond the chair, but it's not a problem because of the Tempur-Pedic cushions that you have supporting their neck. It's actually very, very comfortable. The neck is supported right where it needs to be. And if you try this yourself with your staff, you'll find that this is a very, very comfortable position to be in. Even patients that have had spinal surgery with pins in their neck and whatnot find that this is very, very comfortable. So I have not had the experience like Scott Weed and some others have had that it's a terrible chair. I mean, I've used this chair for 25 years. I've never had a single complaint. And like some have said, most patients said it's the most comfortable chair they've ever been in. So when you look at this, you can see the patient's head is actually extended out beyond the chair, but it isn't a problem because of the Tempur-Pedic cushions behind. And patients will adapt to this, and then you never really have to worry about whether they're in a comfortable position. You know, all of you should sit in the chair with your staff, because there's a big difference between sitting in the chair for 5 minutes and sitting in it for 40 minutes, which is the length of most dental appointments. So the patient has to be comfortable in the chair for an extended period of time. And what that usually means is that they're not comfortable with their head fully up to the end of the headrest. So the headrest is a problem, and you can solve that problem very, very easily. We've worked this way for 25 years without a problem, simply using Tempur-Pedic pillows. You notice the head position there. It's actually beyond the chair, and it enables them to stick their chin up, which is good for you, and because then you can work vertically. You don't have to have the scope at a crazy angle, and you are actually able to work upright without being bent forward uh, in the lower back, which is very, very traumatic uh, to the doctor. So I'm sitting there vertically without a problem, and the end of their head is actually into my stomach. So this is how we manage this problem. I don't have any problem with any different opinions, but This simply hasn't been a problem for us for 25 years.